We have some bad news on Trent Williams going into Sunday's first-round matchup for the Niners against the Eagles. Not a good development on the injury front for Ricky Pearsall, the Niners wide receiver one. Mike McDaniel, who worked under Kyle Shanahan for years, has been fired as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And could the Niners debut a secret weapon on offense against Philadelphia on Sunday? That's coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for daily and year-round coverage of the Niners. Today's show is sponsored by our friends at Polymarket. It's time to challenge the status quo, and Polymarket is now live to help us do so. You can be a part of the revolutionary alternative to sportsbooks with our special invite code. Download Polymarket's new app now via the link that is in the description and comments to unlock exclusive early access and a free $10 in your account with the invite code chat. Polymarket is a prediction marketplace that lets you make trades on the outcomes of sporting events. And as you can see here to my right, you can even buy and sell within a game with live trading. Polymarket has the lowest fees ever. You trade against other people, not the platform, and you can cash out anytime and react to momentum swings within the game. You, my people, are in control. It's legal and available nationwide in all 50 states on their iOS app now. And for this week's 49ers game, Polymarket is only giving San Francisco a 34% chance to come out with a victory. If you like the Niners to win, hop on it right now. $10 free is waiting for you. No card, no deposit, nothing. Download the app with our exclusive code CHAT at chatsports.com/polymarket for exclusive early access and $10 free. Turn game day into payday with Polymarket. That link is down below in the description of today's San Francisco 49ers Report. It's also a part of the pinned comment of today's show. All right, let's begin here. The status of 49ers left tackle Trent Williams, one of the best to ever do it, the future Hall of Famer. A big storyline going into this wild card matchup on the road for the Niners against the 3-seeded Eagles. And according to Ian Rappaport, he was on the NFL Network this morning, he relayed some negative news for San Francisco here. This is not good, regardless of how you slice it up, that Trent Williams' status after he did not practice yesterday for the Niners is in doubt for Sunday's first-round playoff matchup. And I know a lot of people would say that Christian McCaffrey is the 49ers' offensive MVP because he touches the ball more than Trent Williams, obviously, and visibly you can see his impact. For an offensive lineman and an offensive tackle, you might see Trent Williams getting out in space on a pull block or pancaking somebody, but his impact is not as felt when you watch a game as compared to a guy like Christian McCaffrey who's carrying the football and catching the football. But the MVP of this Niners offense might be Trent Williams outside of maybe the quarterback in Brock Purdy, who prior to that Seahawks game on Saturday night was playing better than any quarterback in the NFL. But without Trent Williams on Saturday, what happened? Brock Purdy couldn't get going. He wasn't even given a shot to be successful. Austin Pleasants, who played well against the Bears, made his first career start against arguably the best defense in the NFL. He was bad. Purdy had no time to throw the ball downfield. San Francisco's pass game, it suffered. It wasn't explosive, and the Niners could not run the ball. And a lot of that was because Trent Williams was not on the field. That is what a Hall of Fame player does, and that is how a Hall of Fame player impacts your team. And the Niners in that game against Seattle, after they went on a stretch where they were the hottest offense in the NFL, they had 173 yards of total offense, 4.1 yards per play. Their yards per pass, just north of 4. Brock Purdy only threw for 120 yards. Niners couldn't run it, 12 carries for 53. The brutal turnover in the red zone, which was just a summary of the night, how things didn't go the Niners' way and they could never get it going. And then, of course, as we know, because this Niners defense could not stop their run, Seattle ran it 39 times. Seattle dominated time of possession, 37-plus minutes to 22-plus minutes. Since 2020, this is why I threw it out there that maybe Trent Williams is the Niners' offensive MVP. The Niners, playoffs included, are 61-31 when Trent Williams plays. That is a winning percentage of just under 66%. Without Trent Williams, the Niners, 4-13 since 2020. A winning percentage that plummets from nearly 66% to under 24%. 37 years old this year, but still playing at an all-world level. Overall PFF grade in 2025 of 91.5. Third among 89 offensive tackles. Pass blocking grade, 79.9. 12th in the league at that position. That's right tackles and left tackles. A run blocking grade, 92.8. He's a mauler there. Second in the league. So this really goes to show you, and it's a great example of how and why offensive linemen and offensive tackles matter. This is the case for San Francisco. It's the case for the opponent in the Eagles. Trent Williams not practicing. He might not play. The Eagles, on the other hand, might get a big boost. They might get Lane Johnson back, who since 2013 has been one of the best right tackles in football. And look at the Eagles' win-loss record with Lane compared to without him. This is very Trent Williams-esque, especially from a winning percentage standpoint. The Eagles with Lane Johnson, 110-57 and 1 all time. They've won nearly 70% of their games. Without Lane Johnson, 18-27. This year, 3-4. Their run game has suffered. Their offense in general has suffered. So the Eagles getting some good news on the injury front. Looks like Lane Johnson is going to be able to play in this game, but it's not looking so good for Trent Williams as of this Thursday, January 8th, a few days away from this game getting underway. As far as Ricky Pearsall goes, Ian Rappaport said the same thing about Trent Williams that he did about Ricky Pearsall, that it is doubtful and his status is in doubt for Pearsall. And we talked about this yesterday, right? Pearsall hurt his PCL in week 4 against the Jags. That was at the end of September, I believe September 28th. He did not come back until about the middle of November against Arizona. That's when Brock Purdy came back because of the PCL. So Pearsall re-aggravated that. How is he going to be able to play in this game? The PCL helps to stabilize the knee. It helps you throttle down and then get going again. For a wide receiver who's making cuts, who's putting a lot of pressure on that knee, who has to accelerate and decelerate, the PCL is tricky. It's very important, and you can re-aggravate it very easily. And if Pearsall can't play in this game, it takes away a vertical option for San Francisco, which they also sorely missed against Seattle. And this Eagles defense is no joke. Since week 8, NFL best 14.5 points per game given up. Before we continue to push forward on today's show, a reminder, hit that subscribe button for Niners coverage every single day right here on the 49ers Report. As you can see here, we're closing in on 188,000 subscribers. Lock us in and join the movement. Mike McDaniel this morning, fired by the Miami Dolphins. As recently as yesterday, he was a part of the GM interviews for Miami to bring in a new general manager. A day later, on this Thursday, January 8th, he's canned. Now he's looking for a job. Of course, he has a lot of Kyle Shanahan ties. They overlapped for many, many years. And Shanahan took Mike McDaniel with him on multiple stops. Now, Mike McDaniel had some issues with alcohol early in his coaching career. He was with the Broncos in 2005 as a coaching intern. Overlap with Kyle Shanahan with the Houston Texans when McDaniel was an offensive assistant. And then spent some time with the California Redwoods and Sacramento Mountain Lions as the running backs coach. Linked up with Shanahan again with the Redskins in 2011-2012 as an offensive assistant. Redskins in 2013 as a wide receivers coach. Followed Kyle to the Cleveland Browns when Shanahan was the OC there. McDaniel was the wide receivers coach. When Shanahan became the OC of the Falcons, McDaniel went there 2015-2016 as an offensive assistant. When Shanahan got the head coaching job in 2017, McDaniel followed him to the Niners. He was the run game coordinator from 2017 through 2020, became the Niners OC in 2021. He was a huge reason why the Niners utilized Deebo Samuel as a wide back, and Mike McDaniel helped to design the Niners run scheme. And then after that trip to the NFC Championship game for the Niners, Mike McDaniel became the head coach of the Dolphins in 2022. Some success, but some pitfalls for Mike McDaniel. Really good play designer, really good offensive mind, and a good play caller. But when you're a head coach, you have to oversee the entire operation. You have to build and sustain a culture. McDaniel had issues with that. He also had issues with game management and some of the intricacies that are very important to being a head coach. It's not just about being a play caller. When trailing at half, this is also kind of a Kyle Shanahan problem as well. McDaniel, as the head coach of the Dolphins, 4-23. When quarterbacks started games outside of Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel only went 4-10. Kyle Shanahan's had a lot of success with backups. He went 5-3 this year with Mac Jones. I don't know how this is possible, and I had to slack our Dolphins host, Nick Roloff. On replay challenges, Mike McDaniel went 4-21. That is an atrocious record for challenging plays. He can never beat teams above 500, and when the Dolphins had to play in the cold, this is also a Miami organizational cultural issue that predates Mike McDaniel, but Mike McDaniel's teams were never ready to play in inclement weather. Will the Niners bring him in? I don't think it's going to happen. I think McDaniel might enjoy coming back to San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan, if he can't land a job, would say, yeah, come on back. But I think McDaniel's going to be able to get an offensive coordinator job for another team. I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job right away, nor do I think a team should hire him. A team that's picking up a lot of steam for McDaniel as an OC, the Washington Commanders, team him up with Jaden Daniels. That could be pretty intriguing for him and for Jaden Daniels after Washington moved off of Cliff Kingsbury after just 2 years. How about this? Could the Niners be debuting a secret weapon against the Eagles on Sunday in the wild card round? The Niners yesterday opening up the practice window for wide receiver Jacob Cowing. 4th-round pick out of Arizona in the 2024 NFL draft. Didn't do anything during his rookie year. Had a really good spring. And then to start training camp, he was running routes against air. He injured his hamstring. And then he re-injured it again. And then he re-injured it again. And he did not play at all during the entire regular season. And now the Niners are opening up his practice window so that maybe he could play a role in this playoff game. If the Niners win, maybe beyond that. I think this idea sounds better than what it actually is. Like, I like Jacob Cowing as a player. He was very productive in college, even before he transferred to Arizona. And at Arizona, he is a twitchy player who can take the top off of the defense. You can use him as a gadget guy, bubble screens, end arounds, reverses. You find ways to get him the ball. He can create picking up yards after the catch, but he's a smaller guy who hasn't done anything all year because he's hurt, and he's hurt his hamstring multiple times. The Niners might ask him to be a secret weapon and be a speed threat when he hasn't played all season long. I think that's a tall ask, but we'll see if he plays on Sunday against Philadelphia. Don't forget to give me a follow on all my social media platforms, X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Chase_Senior. Just started that TikTok page, and it's already taken off, so show some support, and you get additional Niners content.